everyone, it's Stephanie, and I'm finally back. It seems my internet is letting me do lives again. So, welcome to the page. And today, I wanted to take a few minutes to show you how to make this really fun animated card, or one like it. So, this one is a Christmas card. Let me see if I can get the angle right so you can see the animation. So, the little ho 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 is going to flash and kind of change sizes. There it goes. You have to get the right pace, especially to do it under the internet camera, but it's really fun and fun to play with. So this little card I made with pieces from the Seasons in Motion bundle, which is still for sale, plus one stamp from a current set that you're going to be seeing a lot of soon, called Jingle Joy. But everything else comes from the Seasons in Motion bundle, and there's plenty of stamps, so you wouldn't have to add another one. And actually, the one I'm going to make in front of you is all from the Seasons in Motion bundle. So that's the idea. One of these animated cards. I'm going to tell you really quickly about the Seasons in Motion bundle. It comes with pretty much all of the pieces you're going to need. It comes with a paper stack. These are 6x6s. You can see the ones I've already cut out because it's a little bit bigger than the card front. So you have these extra pieces. And it has a whole bunch of just 6x6 pieces, all double-sided. You get about 4 of each. So as I'm going through, there's some Christmassy. These two are the same. It's the front and the back. Are a Christmas paper called Cedar Pine from, I think it was just last year. This green dot is an image from another different Christmas set 1 or 2 years ago. There's even some Halloween. So definitely just some fun seasonal paper in here. This is a really nice fall theme. And the piece we're going to use also came out of it. It is this paper that has little snowflakes on it. And the back is Christmas gifts. So you get the pack of paper, you get the die cut, the thin cut, to cut out, this is just washi tape, I'll show you that in a second, but you get the thin cut to cut out that front part, including this part with the slats. That's how you get the animation. Not to worry if you don't have a paper cutter, we also sell an acetate that has the lines that you would just cut out like normal and then put as a backing so you can slide your thing through. But I really like the thin cut because then I don't have to keep buying paper. It also comes with this one, which will cut the little slidey piece. Right, so it just cuts out the paper that you're going to slide in and out. I added this circle to go around it. So that's not in the bundle, but it's a shaker thin cut. And you can see it's a stitch circle. And let me see, what else am I missing here? Oh, all of the stamps. So then these stamps look funny on the mat because they have all these stripes, because that's how the animation happens. Just a word of advice, I discovered this the hard way. Things like snowflakes, don't tilt them. You need your stripes to go up and down so the animation will actually work. This reindeer is a really cute one. Actually, I can show you the reindeer. This was another one my internet wouldn't connect. We also have a reindeer that will prance about. He's on a little bit of dark paper, so it's hard to see on the internet, but he is super, super cute live. So that's the idea. It comes with those stamps, and it actually comes, the same Seasons in Motion bundle also comes with another set that I left on my desk that has more fall themed. It's got a scarecrow that waves and stuff like that. And it comes with this other little stamp set that has things that you can put on the slidey out thing. Pull me, ho ho ho, they're seasonal too. Slide me is the one we're going to use on the card. Candy canes, fa la 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 la, watch this, I used on another. So just fun little images to go on the little tab of the paper that's going to come out. So one last thing I want to show you before I make this card, because I know a couple of people who are on here have already bought the Seasons in Motion set, and I think they use a Cuttlebug to cut it. So I want to show you the Cuttlebug sandwich, the setup, because it's a tiny bit tricky to get it to cut the slats perfect. So for Cuttlebug, you always use an A platform plate. Then you use B's or C's or other things. I have the magnetic plate and it works really well. So I'm going to use the magnetic plate because I do that anytime I use thin cuts. Then you use your B plate that is probably a little warped because you want to use the one that you cut into. If it is too warped, you can always flip it to the other side. So remember, you have two sides. Or you could start cutting into your other B plate. Mine's a little scratch there. Okay, so B plate. Then the paper that you're going to cut with the side that you want to be the front of your card up. Then your die cut, just make sure it's centered, it's on the paper. And I'm using washi tape even with the magnetic platform because you're going to need to run it through your cutter multiple times. So you really don't want it to move. So just washi tape, it won't hurt the paper any to make it not move. There's one last step. On the Cuttlebug, you need a shim, a little bit of extra thickness. So I just took a piece of regular white cardstock. This is just a piece I had. I cut something else out on it. So it's just regular white cardstock. And you're going to tape it to the bottom of your plate. And it doesn't need to cover the whole thing. You really just want a little bit of extra thickness, a little bit of extra pressure where it's cutting that circle. So I just tape it to the bottom of a plate so that it will stay put. Then I add my other B plate. So this is the sandwich. Platform, magnetic thing, B, paper cut, other B. If you do not have the magnetic platform, you use a C instead of a B so that it gives it that thickness. But I love the magnetic platform. And then this is the sandwich that you run through your Cuttlebug cutter. And you're going to go back and forth. And when I got the perfect cut, I've been doing about 4 times back and forth. So 1, 2, lots of handle cranking. It takes a little bit, but you'll be grateful for that really good cut. So that's the sandwich. That's what you want to do when you're cutting these papers in your Cricut. In your Cuttlebug. So then I'm going to pull out the papers that I have. I already pre-cut it because I didn't want to make you watch me crank the thing 4 times, but know that you're going to need to. Okay, so this is my paper that I cut. It came out. I just cut a piece of Lagoon paper to make a card base. It's just half of an 8.5 by 11. All right, so 4 1/4 by 5.5. And that's mostly all that I needed to pre-cut. I happen to do, since it's a kind of dark base, I use the stitched rectangle through my Cuttlebug to get the inside piece. The largest rectangle fits perfectly inside. So that's an addition. You don't need to use the die cut though. You could also equally easily cut a piece of, 4 by 5 1/4, right? 1/2 inch less. Okay, so that's the card idea. So we're going to leave that up here out of the way, and we're going to start on the stamping. I want to do, before I attach anything, I want to put Let It Snow right on here. And I want to do it first, otherwise I'll forget, and it's a lot harder to stamp once you've stuck it down. So I'm just going to ink up Let It Snow. That's in the stamp bundle. And it's not animated because it's not going to go behind the thingy. And then I'm just going to put it down about where I want it. This paper is more like a glacier blue, so the lagoon is really going to pop. So I have Let It Snow. And then I have a few snowflakes. I think this one is not animated. Yeah, these are normal snowflakes. So I'm going to stick a little snowflake. Actually, I'm going to use those on the inside. So I'll go ahead and do that. Since the paper already has snowflakes, I don't need to add a snowflake there. But I will put it on the inside bottom here. And then as long as I'm stamping, I'm going to go ahead and do Merry Christmas on the inside. That's also on the same stamp set. So we'll just stamp that. I'm going to stick to all Lagoon for this card. but you could obviously mix up colors any way you want. This block is way too big, so I need to make sure to wipe off excess ink, otherwise I'll have bonus ink. Okay, so that's going to be my inside. Lots of room still to write a message. And I held off on the animated part until almost the end. So this is going to be my animated piece. So on here, when I put my animated over, it's going to be about like that. So I know that I want my snowman, I'm going to use a snowman for this, and I want him pretty close to the edge so that there's lots of room for him to move through. So I'm also going to do my snowman. I'm probably going to do my snowman in Lagoon, but if he doesn't pop out enough, I might do a darker blue. So you're going to get to see an experiment here. So here he is. I'm just inking really well off camera, unfortunately. In Lagoon. The snowman has a weird spot. Okay, so off camera in Lagoon. I want to make sure that I don't have extra ink on this block. I do. You want to get your blocks as close to the size of the stamp as possible, but anywhere where they're big, you just want to check that you wipe off any excess ink. And I'm going to put my snowman centered top to bottom, but pretty close to the edge. Push firmly. And you can see he looks kind of funny right now. Those lines are where he's going to animate. So his scarf is going to blow in the breeze and his hat is going to tip. I don't know. Oh, I had a piece of paper on him. Huh, okay. And he has a little boo-boo. So I'm going to have to ink that again. I had a piece of paper stuck to him, so he has this weird little thing on his chin. Very strange. So I'm going to see how well I can get my stamps to line up so that I can go right over. That worked pretty okay. It'll be a good test. And he's also going to be dark enough to pop out. So let's see how that goes. And then because I have a little more room, I'm going to do a couple of the animated snowflakes. But before I do that, I want to make sure I have it right side up. Because remember I mentioned that you want the lines going up and down. So let me make sure I'm up and down here. Pretty close. Okay, so I need to pull this off so I can make sure. Is it that way? No, it's definitely this way. Okay. So then I'm going to put a snowflake up here above him. And I'm going to do it again, so I'll get a nice lighter shade over here. And then I'm going to repeat below him. Okay. So now you're going to go ahead and, oh, I need to do the pull tab. So that one, I decided I was going to use, what does this one say? Slide Me. And I think I want it to go that way. So I'll just hold my card and get it right side up about like that. Perfect. All right, so now we need to line up our card base, or our card front on the base. So I'm going to put my snowman in it so I don't mess it up and decide about where I want it. So I think about there. Let me make sure I'm lined up on the front. About, I want, oh, not showing. So about like that. So I just eyeballed by the front, and then I'm going to make sure it's straight. And I'm going to use my 3D foam. So this is our, what is this called? 3D foam tape. I'm going to use the skinnier piece, but even with that, I'm actually going to cut it in half. So I'm going to figure out how much I need. That should be close enough. And then I'm going to need to do 3 sides with foam tape because obviously it has to move out of one. So I'm just using my nonstick scissors to quickly slice about the middle, and close enough is fine, of the foam tape. This has 2 perks. It'll make my tape go a little further, but also it lets me make sure that it's thin enough that none of it's showing. So I wanted this lined up so that I can see exactly where my tape goes to keep it straight. So I don't want to stick the tape to the paper, but I want it right next to it. So that's about right. I want to make sure I'm still lined up okay. Yep, okay. So that's good. And then I want to put a piece top. Again, the tape is going to be what your thing slides along. So you want to make sure it's nice and straight and pretty close to tight so that your animation doesn't move up and down, just the way it only moves the way it's supposed to. I need one more piece because I got to do my top. And then we will also put an extra piece down here since this is popped up. It'll even it out. So I'm just cutting up one more piece in half. And the thin non-stick scissors work pretty well for non-stick. You just have to kind of pull them back out and quickly unstuck the tape, foam tape. So there is one for my top. Let's get it pushed to the bottom so it's in the right place. And just line it up against. Make sure it moves. I didn't stick it on the paper. Oh, it looks like it did on that. There we go. Okay, so not stuck to the paper, but very close. You were stuck somewhere. Oh, it's there. Yeah, okay. That's what I want. And then we'll use my last piece of thin foam tape, just somewhere on the bottom to make the card have the same amount of pop. And then we just pull off any backing that didn't come off yet. And attach the card front to the card base. So I'm just eyeballing, it's actually a tiny bit high, to roughly be centered. And then we have a snowman. He looks pretty good there. And as we pull him through, no, he does work. His little hat goes, and his scarf's moving. And the snowflakes are a little harder to see, but they were extra anyway. That one goes a little bit, oh yeah, they blink a little. So very fun. And then on the inside, we did the inside first. So I just need to glue it in. Where is my glue thingy? And with the stitched edge ones, I just don't bring the glue all the way to the edge so that I can not have it show through the dots. Where is my dots? I'm forever having to change my snail runner, my glue. There we go. So then I just do it on I just add glue on the inside of this faux stitching. And again, eyeball it. And we have a fun animated card ready to give as a gift. I hope this helped and encouraged you to give our Seasons in Motion. Oops, I am missing a step. I wanted to do this little circle around the edge. So let me grab my glue thing so I don't keep gluing my mat. Just grab a silicone thing to add glue to. Make sure I'm on the back. Yep. And this is just a glue pin. It's a little easier than the snail, and because this spot is like exactly the same size, I want to be able to move the circle around a little bit. And with the adhesive snail, you can't do that. Once it's down, it's down. But this, I have a minute while it dries, so I can line it up. I'm just pressing it down with different things so I don't stick to the glue. It probably would have been easier if I remembered this to do it before I put the 3D foam on the top. That's why I'm having trouble getting it down. I think I'll try it this way. There we go. So I like that. It just kind of finishes off the little circle, but you definitely don't have to. I don't think my reindeer doesn't have one, right? So you definitely don't need to add the circle, but it kind of adds a little bit of separation. So there you have it. Another animated seasonal card. I hope you liked the video. Thanks for chiming in. And I hope that it helps you get creative. And